Hi Saggis, how are you guys doing? Welcome to Sagittarius Tarot. Today's reading is going to focus on a choice that you're trying to make between option 1 and option 2. So, if that resonates with you, watch this reading. Let us see first, what is this all about? Like, what is your motivation behind that choice? What are you trying to achieve? It is the Five of Stones or Endurance in reverse. And the Five of Stones is, in the traditional tarot, the Five of Pentacles, right? And it's usually associated with loss and with feeling left out. But here it came in reverse, and it's talking about endurance throughout rough times. And the fact that this came in reverse, it is really showing me your motivation for this choice. You are trying, you have been hustling for so long when it comes to financial security or physical health and or energy in general, right? Stamina, energy, creative energy. But that's usually used towards, making a buck, right? And so with this in reverse here, this is really telling me about really, I think you have been putting so many hours, and it's like you feel that there must be a way that will take less effort. Not that you're trying to take the easy way out, right? Not to say that you're lazy, but you've really been, doing things way too harder for you when there's better alternatives to make that same outcome with less effort, right? So you really, I think, if we're talking finances, you're really thinking about ways to diversify your portfolio, to create different streams of income instead of one, to branch out into different industries and different ways to do that. So yeah, that's what I feel. You're looking into, maybe introducing some passive incomes while having, active incomes, things like that, right? So if this is what you're going through, then this reading is for you. Let us see what is the ideal outcome that would come out of this if you played your cards right, if you put in the effort, if you do the right research, and of course, if things line up for you and you get the right opportunities. Let's see. All right, the ideal outcome, I love it because it is fulfillment. And it is the Three of Bows or the Three of Wands. And yeah, this is again what I was just mentioning to you right now, because this card is about research and plan and following steps and putting all those things in order for you to reach an outcome, right? And I like this because this shows me that you're very patient right now and you're really making, doing your due diligence in order to find the right compound, right? The right methods to achieve that financial abundance, or maybe that same abundance that you have, but with less effort. Like I said, you've been really like working so hard instead of smart. And I like that on the robe of this figure right here, who's holding the bows. For me, it feels like it looks like a caduceus, so this is telling me about an alchemical reaction. And so this is telling me that really you are really looking towards that, light bulb moment or that strategy or method that once you apply, it's really going to give you guaranteed results, right? You're not interested in quick get-rich schemes. You're not interested in gambling, and you're not interested into just trying out things for the fuck of it. I think here it's really talking about you doing your due diligence, and you want something that's true and tried, and that even if it takes a lot of effort to initiate and to start, it's gonna reap the rewards later on, versus every day showing up and putting all that same effort without a lot of tangible results. So there's that. That's your ideal outcome, the fulfillment. Now, we're going to take a look at your values and what it is, right? As you are adopting all these new things, what it is the values of yours that you will never, bow down from. These are like things that you will always carry with you along that journey, right? No shortcuts here. Authenticity first. So let's see. Creativity. I like it. And that's the Three of Stones. And the Three of Stones is the Three of Pentacles in the traditional tarot. And this talks about mastering your craft. And here the keyword is creativity. I like it. And if you notice, the character here, sort of the body and the robe, as much as the hair as well, sort of merges into the stones, right? And into nature. And this is telling you that you're really looking for something that goes, with the grain instead of against it, right? I think you have been doing something so unnatural, and maybe that's why it was taking so much effort in order to produce very minimal results. And so you're looking for ways where your skills and your talents and your creativity are put to better use and will give you better results. And I like that, like you got here this tree behind you that as if you're trying to plan to merge with. And here we see you in complete merger, right? With that rock that almost looks like a Stonehenge rock. And so in order to get to fulfillment, right, you gotta be very creative, and that's the creativity that you will not let go of. Also, what this is telling me is that as much as you're looking for alternative ways to generate better income streams, this is also telling me that you're still going to be using your creativity in these industries, right? So this is not like a shift in terms of what you have to offer. You're still gonna offer the same, it's just in a different way or through a different medium, right? So let's say an example, I don't know. Let's say you're a photographer and you work on a commission basis. And so maybe you have been taking so many projects that are very low paid, right? And you're delivering 1,000 projects, let's say, to get a sum. So first, you're gonna start to look for clients that better fit your vision and better fit your skill set and are willing to pay more for what you have to offer, and take less project or not take projects at all that don't fit into that skill basket or pay little or whatever. Also, maybe you're trying to upload your pictures to a stock photography website to make certain commission and a passive income. Maybe you're trying to create a book. You know what I'm saying? I just gave you this photography. I don't know, it just came to my head example, but there's so many examples like that. And so you're really going to use your creativity, just to illustrate to you, in a way where you're still applying those skills, but first to a better audience, to a more fit audience, and also to different channels in order to get a better yield overall with the same effort. Now, we're going to take a look at the two options, right? The outcome. And so you have the option one that you're thinking about. I don't know what that option is, right? And what is its likely outcome? And then we're going to take a look at the option two. Let's take a look at option one. What is the likely outcome if you took that option? All right, it is the Eight of Bows, which is Hearthfire. And the Eight of Bows is in the traditional tarot, the Eight of Wands. And this is indicating a lot of speed, right? This option will include a lot of communication, a lot of emails, a lot of phone calls, a lot of meetings, a lot of people, a lot of news, all of that. But it shows me that there's success, but there's just like a lot in it. Before I delve deeper into it, let me see what the other option will show you, and then we can understand better what all of this is about. The other option is the Ace of Stones, and it's the foundation of life. And that's the Ace of Pentacles. All right, so now this makes more sense to me. I feel that like whatever you were doing right before, um, it is not bad inherently in itself. It just requires a lot, right? Energetically from you. And so if you decide to continue doing what you're doing, this is telling me that it's not going to stay the same. You're going to get even more work. You're going to get even more things. But more with this card equals more. So more projects, more emails, more clients, more phone calls, more time spent, of course, more money, but more. So that's a very expensive energy, right? If we're talking about the body or the nutrition or the health, you can apply this reading to that as well, right? So this is a very expensive energy. This is more. So you can decide to stay in that energy because it's not stagnant. There's a lot more coming with it. But you have to understand, if you're already tired and feeling like you want to come out of this struggle, with this card, that's not the key, right? You're going to make more money. You're going to create more, but you're also going to spend more energy on all of that. And in the long run, that's not like a long-term investment that yields. This feels more like pay per hour type of service, right? Like you're getting money for your time, but you're not generating a passive income. You're not building an investment of some sorts with this business model. Versus the Ace of Stones here, which is the foundation of life and which is the potential, right? It shows the potential to build wealth. And so I think with this second option that you're trying to take, which is much more balanced, because you're trying to diversify the use of your creativity towards what you have been doing in the past, but also injecting it into new channels, new medium, new target audiences, new niches, new ways to generate income and new investment and new passive incomes, right? And I think this holds a lot more potential than the other one. But the difference is this is stone, so this is static energy, right? The pentacle, and it's the Ace of Stones, so it's potential. That means it's going to take a long time for you to build until you start seeing results. Versus the short-term gratification with the Eight of Bows, that feels like, oh, I can keep on like just, working more and making more money. But that's going to lead you to energetic depletion, right? So I think, looking at these two, I think the answer lies in the middle. Because at the same time, you cannot just decide all of a sudden to switch to investing all of this in a potential while not making money, because one's gotta live, right? So you have bills to pay and all of these things. And with that one, with the Eight of Bows, you cannot also just decide to go that route and say yes to every project, because then you're gonna be exhausted or depleted, and you're not gonna be able to deliver all those deadlines, and then it's counterproductive, and then you're gonna start losing and stuff like that, right? I think a mix of both is what's needed. You gotta keep on tending that fire since there's already flow, and whenever there's flow, because sometimes you go through dry periods. Whenever there's flow, this is the universe telling you there is flow right there. Keep doing what you're doing, but take a chunk of that time, of those resources, of that energy, and of that creativity. Plan out, right? Put out a plan and start little bit by little bit using your creativity to invest or create this foundation of life, this Ace of Stones. In that manner, whenever this starts to fly and to generate to you more, you'll do less of that option one. Does that make sense? Alrighty, I love you, Saggies.